Hello again, everybody. David Clary along with Joey Weston here at Powell High School, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. Wildcats taking on the Powell Panthers. We're, I guess, waiting for the umpires to show. While we have an opportunity, Joey, why don't you run down the starting lineups?
All right, leading things off tonight for the Oak Ridge Wildcats is Caden Black, the shortstop. Batting second, Mikey Teasley, the third baseman. Batting third, Tyler Pickens on the mound tonight. Batting fourth, Richie Ferreira in center field. Batting fifth, and a DH tonight, Eddie Tan, and he's DHing for Cam Welch at first base. Batting sixth, Jacob Franklin in left field. Batting seventh, Kyron Welch at catcher. Batting eighth, Jason Slay at second base. And batting ninth, Riley Rehill in right field. And for Powell tonight, leading things off is Bryce Buckart in center field. Batting second is Caleb Emmert at second base. Batting third, Lucas Mays at first. Batting fourth, Quade Carver at third base. Batting fifth, Elijah White in right field. In the sixth slot, Landon Godfrey. He's DHing tonight. Batting seventh, Austin Mepos at catcher. Batting eighth, Brayston Sopper at shortstop. And batting ninth, Ryan Satterfield in left field for Powell.
You'll still be in school. They play in May, the Red Sox. Yeah.
Beat the odds. Beat the odds. Beat the odds.
And we're about to get set here from Powell High School. The Wildcats leading things off. It'll be Caden Black hitting from the left side. Powell, traditionally a powerhouse. They come in at 9-1 on the year. The Wildcats come in at 7-4. Oak Ridge 3-1 in district play. And the first pitch is up high, a ball, 1 no strikes. Going to be a vocal crowd in front of us here today, Joey.
Oh, yeah, really. I mean, a little bit different than the games we've filmed in the past where we got some noise right in front of us, and we're not right behind the batter like we usually are.
We're broadcasting from on top of the dugout here at Powell High School. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. That's ball 3. Up high. Powell wearing their all-white jerseys with a little orange and black. The Wildcats wearing their predominantly gray jerseys with cardinal numerals. 3-0 pitch, and they're for a called strike. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Just underway here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Thanks for tuning us in wherever you might be watching us. That ball is ripped to right field and hard. It goes right to the right fielder. makes 2 steps to his right and makes the catch for out number 1.
Nice contact by Caden Black there, almost a base hit, but batting now is Mikey Teasley, the third baseman for Oak Ridge.
As you can see, there's an unrestricted view on the YouTube. We're on top of the dugout. If anybody hits a foul ball our way, either we're going to have broken cameras or Joey's going to have broken teeth. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike the count. Ball's hit up the middle. That's a base hit. Seems like Mikey's been doing that a lot. A lot of his hits recently have been right back where they came from.
Yeah, Mikey's definitely a guy that puts the ball in play. He can hit the ball hard, but he's a great contact hitter as well. And batting now is Tyler Pickens, the pitcher for Oak Ridge tonight.
Getting a chance to start the first district ball game of the year. Runner at first, good speed, and Mikey Teasley. Right-handed throwing pitcher for Powell. Pitch to Tyler is hit foul. Back to the screen, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Thanks for tuning us in wherever you might be. Just looking how beautiful the grass looks here at Powell. It's almost like a carpet on the infield and the outfield. 1 strike the count. Runner at first, that's Mikey Teasley. Mikey takes a pretty good size lead off of first. And the pitch to Tyler is hit in the air, right side, shallow right field. The right fielder under it makes his second catch of the inning. And returning to first base will go Mikey Teasley. So it'll be up to Richie Ferreira if the Wildcats are going to try to get on the board here in the first inning.
Yeah, talking about this field, super nice place. It is a little bit smaller compared to Bobby Hopkins. In right field, there's 320 feet to the fence. And on the left side of the field, 315 feet.
Much smaller than Bobby Hopkins, especially on the left field. Little token toss over to first, and easily back to the bag goes Mikey Teasley. Ridge fans are rolling into Powell High School. Good turnout of Powell fans as well. Teasley takes his lead off of first. Left-handed hitting Ferreira, batting for the Wildcats. Ball is hit on the ground to the shortstop. He's got 1 play, and that's the first, and it's in time for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base hit, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the first inning here at Powell High School. The Panthers coming to bat. We'll be back on our YouTube stream in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Bottom half of the first inning about set. You've got the top 3 batters as they lead off the first inning.
Leading things off is Bryce Buckhart, followed by Caleb Emmert, and then Lucas Mays.
Right-handed pitcher for the Wildcats is Tyler Pickens. He is a senior. He's won both of his starts for the Wildcats and getting a chance to start this one against district opponent Powell on their home turf. The Wildcats will play Powell tomorrow at Powell. First pitch is hit on the ground. Short hop to Mikey Teasley. Throws on the first in time for out number 1. Nice play on the short hop by Mikey Teasley, and that is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, great play by Mikey. Nice pick there. That ball took a little bit of a hop right before his glove. He was able to field it cleanly and get the out. Batting now is Caleb Emmert, the second baseman.
Joey, I'm wondering, were you able to do the camera on that play, or did you remember?
I missed it, but, that's just a wake-up call for me.
It's just something new for you to do. And first pitch is up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Scoreless game just underway, bottom of the first inning. Here in this district ball game, Tyler Pickens on the mound defensively for Oak Ridge. Camden Welch is at first. I'll set the other starters in a moment. 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Slay's the second baseman. Caden Black is at short. Mikey Teasley's at third. I'll get the outfield after this 1-1 pitch. Tying outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jacob Franklin's in left, Richie Ferreira's in center, and Riley Rehill is in right field. The catcher is Kyron Welch. 2 balls, 1 strike, the pitch. Hit foul into the parking lot on a car. Just missed it. And that's why I typically park pretty far back when we come to Powell. As you can see, Joey, all the sports facilities are all kind of jammed together on this small piece of property, but they've done a really good job. It looks really nice. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Cut on a miss, and that's a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 2 here in the first inning.
Batting now is Lucas Mays, the first baseman for the Panthers.
Powell, traditionally a powerhouse in baseball locally. Been told this year's team is still good, very good, but not at the same quality they've had in past years, so the district is really up for grabs for anybody who wants to take it. 2 outs here, 2 up and 2 down for Tyler. Number 3 hitter, right-hander. The pitch is way up high, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Got a decent turnout of fans here, Joey.
Yeah, that's right. Usually in these away games we don't see this many people, but the Oak Ridge fans really coming out tonight to support the team.
What I like about this field, and obviously if you're watching it, we are on top of the dugout, the Oak Ridge dugout. The stands are well above the playing surface, which is kind of cool. As that pitch is cut on a miss, and Tyler has his first strike on this batter, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a really beautiful. I just kind of like the way it's laid out.
It's super nice, and it's really a different feel tonight. We're right above the dugout. You can really hear what the guys are saying. It's awesome. It really is.
1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is up high. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. Broadcasting on YouTube. Tomorrow, Oak Ridge plays Powell. That'll be a 6 o'clock game at Powell High School, or at Oak Ridge High School. Bobby Hopkins, I should say. I'll get it right. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch hit foul back to the screen. I think the count is 2-2. 2 outs, nobody aboard here in the bottom of the first inning. The Wildcats picked up a base hit, a solid single by Mikey Teasley, but he was left stranded. The Wildcat right-handed senior thrower trying to get him 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Ball is hit foul once again. The only dangerous part about where we're sitting, Joey, is where we're sitting, Joey, because we are definitely in foul range.
That's right. Actually, Coach Branson almost got hit at the Campbell County game. We were on top of a press box, so I'd like to see how things go today.
And we're much closer than we were on that particular day, for sure. Any right-handed batter that kind of gets around on it too quickly, the ball is whizzing our way. And I have a rule here, Joey. I'll talk to you after the 2-2 pitch. Kind of picks up his left foot, comes to the plate, cut on a miss, and that's a strikeout, and that is out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for Tyler Pickens and the Wildcats. We go to the top of the second inning here at Powell High School. Oak Ridge and Powell are scoreless. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. David Clary along with Joey Weston. Oak Ridge High School baseball, the Wildcats and the Panthers. We played one complete inning. We have a scoreless game. Leading things off for the Wildcats will be Eddie Tan. And the first pitch to him is up high a ball. One ball, no strikes that count. Yeah, we talked about this the other night. The last game we did was the Maryville ball game. We had some really good umpiring in that game. Hopefully we'll have the same here tonight at Powell.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't seen great umpires this season. No hate towards any of them though. But last game we did have a good umpire at Maryville.
Yeah, actually, with the exception of Rick Hendricks, obviously, as that pitch is hit foul over towards the Powell dugout, had him scattered just a bit. Luckily, there's a net there. There was a little delayed action. If that ball comes this way, what I was going to tell you, here's the rule of this broadcast. Let me get this pitch. Cut on a miss. Eddie in a 2-2 count now. Save the camera first, get the shot, and save your life third.
That's fine by me. I tried to save Coach Branson that one time. Almost got a hand on it.
Ball's hit on the ground to the second baseman and throws on the first in time for out number one. So 1 up and 1 down here in the second. Batter now will be Oak Ridge's senior left fielder, Jacob Franklin. Right-handed hitter for the Wildcats. Pitcher throws a lot of off-speed pitches, Joey.
Yeah, he does. It's been a little tough for me to tell from up here just because we're not right behind the batter this time. But, yeah, he does. That's right.
He's a right-hander, has the sign. The first pitch to Jacob is down low a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Like I said, just looking at the stands here, and our stands are mostly full. Good to see at an Oak Ridge baseball game. Pitch is in there for a called strike at the belt. That's the only one disadvantage we have being on the side like this. You can't exactly tell where it is. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, that one looked good.
Yeah, dude, this pitcher, he's solid. Oak Ridge is able to get a single last inning. Mikey Teasley, great hit right up towards the second base.
Pitch cut on miss, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Franklin. On deck for the Wildcats, Welch, cut on a miss, and that's a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 2. One thing that he is doing, too, he is really working very quickly as he retires the first 2 batters he's faced here in the second.
So batting now is Kyron Welch, the catcher for the Wildcats.
I think he had a base hit the other day in the Maryville ball game. That pitch is up high to him. 1 ball, no strikes. The Wildcats have 1 hit. As Joey mentioned a moment ago, a 1-out single by Mikey Teasley. Pitch is half-heartedly swung at, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We've got 2 outs, nobody aboard. Man, their pitcher is going quickly. He never gets off the rubber. Pitch is cut on and missed. Wildcats have got to disrupt him just a bit and step out of the box just a bit. He's ready to go. As soon as he gets the ball back, he's ready to throw it. Here comes another one, cut on a miss, and that's 3 up and 3 down for the Wildcats here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. No score, Oak Ridge and Powell. And we'll be back on our YouTube channel in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. David Clary along with Joey Weston. We're just zipping right along here as the bottom half of the second is about to get set. Tyler Pickens, the Wildcat pitcher, got him 1-2-3 in the first and faces the cleanup man to start the bottom of the second inning.
This is Quade Carver, the third baseman.
Right-handed hitter wearing the number 26. Tyler is a right-handed throwing senior. Powell dugout now making a lot of noise. That ball is hit softly. 3 hops to the second baseman. Throws on the first in time for out number 1. So a soft little, not even hardly could be called a line drive, just a soft ball off the bat. Took a couple hops towards Jason Slay, and he easily fielded it and threw on the first. Not a fast runner going down the line, or it might have been trouble. But it's 1 pitch and 1 out, and now we've got a lefty standing in the bat for the Panthers.
Batting now is Elijah White.
Tyler has been very efficient with his pitches to this point. Pitches hit foul and out of play onto the road, almost to the road behind the ballpark here. What's interesting is when I see the cars that come here to watch games here that park right up against the fence, obviously they've never seen foul balls go in that direction. I have many times. 1 strike the count, the pitch. Hit in the air, left side, should be caught. Left fielder Jacob Franklin's under it, makes the catch for out number 2. So 3 pitches so far in this inning, and Tyler has recorded 2 outs.
Also, sorry to the viewers out there if the camera work's not as great as it usually is. You know, we got a great cameraman, Vashon Knowles, who's usually here.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'll call it like a radio guy. You're just not used to it, that's why.
Batting now is Landon Godfrey, the DH.
Right-handed hitter. Tyler's thrown 3 pitches, I believe, this inning and has 2 outs. That pitch is up high, a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. We have a scoreless ball game, bottom of the second here, Powell. District action. We'll have 1 more district ball game tomorrow against the Panthers, and the Wildcats will be hosting some tournament games at Bobby Hopkins the rest of the week. 1-0 pitch. It's called a strike, I believe. I guess not. 2 balls and no strikes on the scoreboard. You talk about some loud dugouts. The Powell dugout across the way from us, very loud. The Oak Ridge dugout right below us. 2-0 pitch, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes, nobody out. Nobody on him, 2 outs. One thing that's interesting about this field, Joey, I'll come back to that in a moment. See if Tyler, first time he's really struggled. Got a 3-0 count on the batter. The pitch. That's a called strike, and it's 3-1. There's a creek that's just beyond, and I don't know if you've ever been here. When it rains, it floods big time on the Emory Road area. But sometimes I have seen this whole field underwater before. Here's a 3-1 pitch, cut on, foul tip. Back into the parking lot, and the count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sometimes you can even see the watermark of the water on the outfield fence. It gets so high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second. Pickens comes to the plate. It's outside a ball, and that's the first base runner for the Panthers.
Nice job pitching so far by Tyler. You know, he brought that count back to a 3-2 count from 3-0. So great job by him, but unfortunately he came out with a walk. And batting now is Austin Mepos, the catcher.
One thing I've noticed about Powell, and obviously when you got a good program, you can afford to put speakers everywhere, and they have speakers everywhere. I mean, there are speakers on the poles, there's speakers out on the outfield and the scoreboard. There's just everywhere. As they got their first base runner of the night, the Wildcats had 1 base runner in the first inning. That was a single by Mikey Teasley. He's our third baseman. And another right-handed hitter. Pickens checks a short lead taken by the runner at first. Camden Welch, the first baseman, holds him on. Tyler working from the stretch, comes in. Pitches down low, a ball, so a little bit off in his control here in the second. Got the first 2 guys on 2 pitches. Maybe the Powell coaching staff will say, why don't you wait him out a little bit and quit swinging at the first pitch. Tyler with a 1-0 pitch, and he steps off. The timeout is asked for by the batter.
You know what? I am noticing a lot of kind of rivalry between these 2 teams, especially in the dugouts. You're hearing noise from Oak Ridge, and then you hear the noise from the Panthers, and it's kind of going back and forth now.
Oak Ridge and Powell is definitely a big rivalry in sports. Obviously, in football, they eliminated Oak Ridge in the playoffs. In basketball, we have done the same with them several times, and in all sports. I mean, it's a big rivalry. The two teams are really obviously not that far apart. The community's not that far apart, and we've had a lot of great games between them and basketball and that football field, which is just beyond. We can see it from here. They're playing soccer on it right now. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch, cut on a miss. That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Good pitch by Tyler there. Caught him swinging on the breaking ball. I've seen a lot from those two pitchers, a lot of breaking balls so far.
Joey Weston doing stats and camera. Let's see if he remembers to do the camera part of it. I'm going to watch him this time. He's doing the best he can. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Oh, man. I don't know. From here, and my angle obviously is different from the umpires. Look pretty good. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first hasn't even attempted to try to steal. See if he's going on this pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. That's outside. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch before was pretty good.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of speed on that most recent pitch. Tyler, he's got a great arm, especially on Oak Ridge. He's one of the top pitchers here.
Right-handed thrower, had a really nice football season, as we've documented before. Doing good work for the Wildcat baseball team. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Tyler after easily retiring the first 2 batters. In a little bit of a mess here in the bottom of the 2nd inning in a scoreless ball game.
Batting now is Brayston Stopper, the shortstop.
Right-handed hitter stands in. They've got runners at first and second. The first 2 guys were retired quite easily. I mean, 3 pitches. Basically, we have a courtesy runner, it looks like, at first for the Panthers. So they have runners at first and second and 2 outs. Let's see what number 17 can do here for the Panthers. We are in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2 base runners for them, their first 2 of the day. Oak Ridge dugout making a lot of noise. Powell making a lot of noise. Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss. Just overpowered him with that one, and the count is 0-1.
Great pitch by Tyler there, and I think he's really starting to get motivated by this Oak Ridge team here. When we have a student section at Oak Ridge High School, you can definitely notice a difference in the play style with this team.
Ball is hit to center, right center field. Center fielder Richie Ferreira, just shy of the warning track, makes the one-handed grab for out number 3. The ball was hit well, but out. We go to the top of the 3rd inning here at Powell High School. The Wildcats and Panthers are scoreless, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Powell High School. We get ready to start the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd inning. Wildcats will have the lower part of their order, starting things off with Jason Slay, followed by Riley Rehill. And then I believe Caden Black will be on deck. So we've got 8, 9, and 1 scheduled to bat here in the third. As Jason stands in, the first pitch to him is a ball, and the count is 1-0.
So I was watching the catcher in warm-ups, and I saw his throwdown, and he definitely has an arm. So that's going to be something Oak Ridge is going to have to watch out for tonight, as they are really.
Ball is hit to the second baseman on the fly, and that is out number 1 here in the third inning. Coach Free is giving instructions to his guys, and you heard what he said.
Yeah, he's not too happy about that, but I think the team gets the idea.
I think they're trying to pull it because of the small dimensions of the park as Riley Rehill stands in. And the first pitch to him is a ball. They asked for help, and he did not swing. Caden Black is on deck for Oak Ridge. Scoreless game, top of the third. Rehill lines it into left field, a base hit. The guy continues to hit for the Wildcats. I just think he should be in the order. I'm not the guy who makes the order, obviously, but he always seems to get on base.
Right, that's his 4th or 5th hit of the season, and he doesn't get many opportunities to hit, so it's really impressive from Riley Rehill.
His last at bat at Maryville picked up a base hit, so a good start for the Wildcats. Second hit of the game. Mikey had the first one. Now the leadoff man in the Oak Ridge order with 1 out, and that is Caden Black. Throw over to first. He just kind of lobbed it over. Caden was retired his first plate appearance.
Yeah, that's right. He flew out to the right fielder, who later got some action against Tyler Pickens.
Pitch to him, hit on the ground again, up the middle, and it's going to sneak through off the second baseman. Rounding second and heading towards third is Riley Rehill. Coming into second base is Caden Black. Nobody covered the bag, and one of the Panthers is down on the play. So the Wildcats will have runners at second and third. The ball was hit right up the middle. The second baseman tried to make a diving attempt at it. He dove for it, hit the ground hard. The ball scooted off his glove into shallow left center field, and the Wildcats have something going here with the Mikey Teasley, the batter, with 2 on and 1 out.
Great job by Caden to put that ball just right there. I mean, it didn't even have to be a hard hit. He got it through the second baseman and shortstop, and now there's runners on second and third. Oak Ridge is in a good position right now.
And the Powell coach out to talk with the pitcher as the Wildcats have runners at second and third with 1 out. We're in the third inning on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, and we thank you for watching it. We don't have any sponsors for baseball, so anybody and any donation is appreciated, as we're just doing it on our own dollar here. As Joey's not making the most money in the world, he's not going to retire on it for sure.
It's still nice, you get to come out here, watch the baseball games, and just commentate. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, something you probably never thought you'd ever do.
Yeah, that's right. I was playing, and then I wasn't that great, so I stopped playing. But now it's good to be kind of back in it a little bit.
Being around some of your former teammates has got to be fun for you as well. Well, let's see what Oak Ridge can do here. The Wildcats' Mikey Teasley is the batter. He singled up the middle his first plate appearance. We're officially going to give him a double on that because it was going to be a hit anyway, and he just hustled to second base. Hit means perhaps 2 runs. Shortstop playing deep in the hole. Runners at second and third for the Wildcats. Mikey Teasley, that's the Oak Ridge dugout right in front of us, making a ton of noise, as you can probably hear. Rehill takes his lead. The pitch is hit foul. Out of play towards the parking lot, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Boy, you talk about a vocal dugout.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, they're a lot more vocal this game than usual, and we get to be right on top of it.
I mean, literally, we're on top of it. As the pitch is down low, a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Riley Rehill had a 1-out single. He's the base runner at third for Oak Ridge. Caden Black had an off-the-glove double, and he's at second. 1 out, pitch down low, a ball. The count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Pickens on deck for Oak Ridge. The Wildcats trying to get on the board first. We've got a scoreless game in the top of the third inning. Teasley back in, working a little slower now. The pitch called a strike, and the count is 1-2 strikes.
Mikey Teasley, like I said before, he's a big contact hitter guy. He'll be able to put the ball out there. That's what Oak Ridge really needs right now with the runners on second and third base.
Pitch to him, cut on and missed. Might have foul tipped it into the mitt and caught by the catcher. So the Panthers are now away from getting out of a royal mess here in the third inning. But our number 3 hitter in the Oak Ridge lineup, Tyler Pickens, will step in. Runner at third, Riley Rehill. Runner at second for Oak Ridge, Caden Black. The pitch to Tyler Pickens, hit on the ground, high hopper, and he feels it, throws in time for out number 3. Wildcats pick up a couple of base hits. They leave them stranded. Good opportunity there. Wildcats couldn't take advantage of. We go to the bottom half of the third inning here at Powell High School. Oak Ridge and Powell are scoreless, and we'll be back in a moment. Bottom of the third inning about set here from Powell High School. The Wildcats had some base runners, Joey, but they haven't been able to get them home. Hopefully Tyler Pickens can continue his good work.
You know, that's all right. The Oak Ridge is starting to put the ball in play. Coming off of a game against Maryville, really good defensive team. It's good for the Wildcats to start getting back into it.
If you think about it, the Wildcats haven't scored a ton of runs here. If you go back to the Pigeon Forge game, they were shut out, and against Maryville, they weren't able to really do much damage offensively. So last couple games just haven't been able to produce a lot of offense.
That's right. And batting now is Ryan Satterfield, the left fielder for the Panthers.
He's a right-handed hitter. Last batter in the previous inning hit the ball pretty deep to center field. That pitch is a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. 0-0 our score from a jam-packed Powell. Got a high school baseball game going on. Pickens with a 1-strike pitch, cut on and missed, and the count is 0-2.
You know what I noticed? I think that's their head coach at third base. So the difference with that and the Wildcats is Coach Free usually does not go to third base.
You know, honestly, most high schools do that. Coach Free is kind of different about that. As that pitch is hit foul off to the right, hopefully that person sees it. Ball bounces right in front of them. A lot of people beyond the, looks like Bradford Pears over there, just kind of watching the game. I guess they didn't have to pay to get in, or if they did pay to get in, they'd rather sit in that covered area. We're out in the open here. Foul ball country. 0-2 pitch, cut on and missed, and that's a strikeout for Tyler Pickens, and that is the first out here in the bottom of the third inning.
Great job by Tyler, as that's his third strikeout of the night. And batting now is the leadoff hitter, Bryce Buckart, in center field.
Right-handed hitter. He is the number 9 hitter, I believe, or he's the leadoff man. That's what you said. My apologies. He'll stand in, right-handed hitter. Pickens looks in for the sign from Kyron Welch. Junior catcher, Pitch hit well, hit deep to left, but Oak Ridge should make the catch, and they do with Jacob Franklin. Just took about 4 steps to his right, probably about 15 feet in front of the 3:15 mark, which is down the power hour and down the line at the foul pole, and that is out number 2. Tyler's been, with the exception of the last inning where he walked a couple, he's been very efficient with his pitches.
That's right, and even the batters that he walked, he was still at a 3-2 count, so he was able to get strikes in the box and get the outs.
So there's 2 outs, nobody aboard. The pitch is hit foul, heading towards the bleachers and bounding off the concrete, probably, 5, 6, 7 feet over the fence, and it count as no balls and 1 strike. Let's set the defense while you have a chance to move the camera. At first is Camden Welch. The second baseman for the Wildcats is Jason Slay. The shortstop for the Wildcats, moving the camera quickly, is Caden Black. Mikey Teasley is the third baseman for Oak Ridge. Good job there, Joey. 1 strike the count, and the pitch. Hit on the ground, fair ball down the first base line. It's going to be fielded nicely by Rehill, and he's got a chance to gun him out at second. And the ball was cut off by Jason Slay. And I kind of thought maybe, because Riley got it in really fast, I thought they might have a chance to get the runner at second base, but the ball was cut off. So they've got a runner at second base with 2 outs.
Nice double there by Caleb Emmert. I don't believe we said his name, but batting now is Lucas Mays, the first baseman.
Yeah, but a really nice job by Riley to get over there. I think they had a shot to get him at second.
Definitely. It would have been really close, but, Caden Black may have been able to get that tag down.
So the Wildcats with 2 outs here in a scoreless game. Let's see if Tyler can get through this one. Got a little bit of a issue with a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs.
Batting now is Lucas Mays, and he struck out his first at-bat.
1 ball, no strikes to him. Tyler steps off the rubber for a second. 2 outs, runner at second. Really nice hit right down the first base line, just went over the bag fair. And the pitch is down low, a ball, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Really nice hit just a moment ago by the Panther.
Yeah, super nice. He put that ball right on the first base line. Kyron, he had a chance, but that would have been a really, really difficult play. Good job by him to stop the ball at least, stop the momentum.
Here's a pickoff play, and they had an opportunity. The throw was just a little bit wide on the first base side of second. Jason Slay covering. Back to the bag easily. That kind of quiets everybody in both dugouts. Got a 2 ball, no strike count on the batter. 0-0 our score as the Panthers bat in the 3rd inning. Tyler comes to the plate. Down low, he's going to head towards third, and here comes the throw, and he's out! He is out! Great throw, bad read, 3rd out. We go to the 4th. Oak Ridge and Powell are scoreless, and we'll be back to Powell High School in a moment. We go to the fourth inning here at Bobby Hop. Nah, why would I think we're at Bobby Hopkins? We're sitting on top of a bleacher up here. Richie Ferreira leads things off here from Powell High School, home of the Panthers. Richie's first pitch is hit on the ground, up the middle. That's going to be nicely fielded by the shortstop, but he has no play at all, and that's another single for the Wildcats. A leadoff man aboard. The Wildcats have been able to get some base runners. That is their fourth hit of the ball game, but neither team has been able to score. We've had more base runners, obviously, than they have, but nobody's been able to dent the scoreboard.
Yeah, Oak Ridge has been able to get on base a lot this game. It's good. Last inning they had men on second and third. They just weren't able to get them in.
Throw over to first, and Richie back to the bag safely. Eddie Tan, the batter, stands in, right-handed hitter. He's a senior. Another throw over, and quickly back to the bag goes Richie, and kind of went up. Takes a good lead off of first, and throws over once again, a little bit closer. Has 3 throw-overs. In Major League Baseball, he would be done with his throws to first. A big lead by Richie, and he once again draws a throw. That's 4 straight throws.
Yeah, looks like they've been doing their studying on this Oak Ridge team. They know they like to steal a lot.
And draws a throw, and he's out. You know, I think he was out. And ball was his lead was too far that far off the bag that time. Got a little bit too much. It was a good throw. I mean, he had gotten off the bag way too much and was gunned out.
Yeah, I mean, he tried it 5 times. I think he was eventually going to try and get him.
And he kept taking a little bit longer, bigger lead. Nice play by the pitcher, and that's 1 out. Pitch hit on the ground, third base side. Fields it cleanly, throws low, and throws it away. Eddie Tan heading towards second, and he'll stay there with 1 out. You know, just think would have been the situation if the base runner hadn't been picked off there.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for Oak Ridge, but now up to bat is Jacob Franklin, the left fielder. He struck out his first attempt.
Third baseman did a really good job fielding it, but he threw it down low, and the first baseman just could not pick it out of the dirt. Jacob Franklin steps in. I believe he was a strikeout victim his first plate appearance, so he's 0 for 1. Wildcats with another runner in scoring position. We've got a scoreless game, and the pitch to Jacob is outside a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. 4 hits for the Wildcats, 1 hit for the Panthers. Wildcats have yet to commit an error. The Panthers just now have a throwing error. Good lead by Eddie. The pitch, cut on a missed. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyron Welch on deck for the Wildcats. Jacob stands back in. Eddie takes a short lead off of second. The senior back in. Here's the pitch to him. Cut on a missed. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Franklin, right-handed hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. Trying to get the first run in. The Wildcats have a runner in scoring position. They've had several in this one. Powell Panther pitcher steps off the rubber. Jacob back in. Needs to make some contact here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Throw back to second, and Eddie had not really moved far off the bag. One ball, 2 strikes. Jacob back in. Eddie takes his lead off of second. The pitch hit well into right center field. That's a base hit. Here comes Eddie Tan. He gets the green light. He's coming around third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off, and the Wildcats lead it 1-0. 1-0 Wildcats as Eddie Tan scores on the single by Jacob Franklin with 2 outs, and the Wildcats lead Powell 1-0.
Great job by Jacob there to get that base hit. Drive Eddie Tan in. Great all-around play.
Best part of it, you know, the first 2 he swung and missed and didn't look good on his 2 strikes. And the count, 1 out. Getting harassed by the Wildcats here.
David's getting hyped up by this OR dugout here. They're motivating anybody tonight.
Here's a throw to first, and once again back to the bag will go Jacob Franklin. He's got a pretty good move.
Yeah, how many times do you think we're going to be seeing that tonight is my question.
Well, look, we've had one guy picked off. Let's see. He's going to go to the plate this time. The pitch is low and kind of distracting him. 1-0 Wildcats. That was the fifth hit of the game for Oak Ridge. It's so loud here. I like it. It really keeps you into the ball game because I can reach down and touch the heads of the Wildcats as we're on top of the dugout. There's a balk. So the Wildcats will have another runner in scoring position. He's got a good move, but that time he committed the balk, and the Wildcats have another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, that's always nice. Free base for Jacob Franklin. He's put in scoring position here for Kyron Welch.
Jacob takes his lead off of second. Got a 1-ball, no strike count on Kyron Welch. The pitch, that's ball 2. On deck for the Wildcats, Jason Slay. Hitting in the number 8 slot today. Kyron back in. Jacob a big lead at second. Second baseman slightly shading towards the bag. Pitch to the plate, cut on and missed. And that's another balk. Another balk. So Jacob Franklin is all the way around to third, and here comes the coach of the Powell Panthers, and he's not going to talk to his pitcher. He is heading right towards the field umpire. Why don't you follow him, and we'll see how this conversation goes. He doesn't agree with it. And honestly, balks are hard to detect, really, if you're not really looking for it, and that's obviously his job. And once again, that's back-to-back balks, and the Wildcats have a runner at third. That kind of fired up the Powell fans to the right. Another one brings in a run for the Wildcats. They're going to bring the infield inside on the grass. Jacob Franklin, the runner at third. The pitch is cut on and missed. And that is strike 2. And the count, I believe, is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard says 2-1, but I think he didn't because the balk didn't count as a pitch. So the scoreboard is correct. It is 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. Balk is a no pitch. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's a called strike on the inside corner of the plate at the knees. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oak Ridge's dugout is loud. Pitch, that's ball 4. Wildcats have runners on the corners with 1 out, 1 run in. The Wildcats on top of Powell by a score of 1-0. The Wildcats about to get a courtesy runner into the game, and that'll be Izzy Mitchell.
A lot more energy here now that run has been scored. They got 1 out and man on third, so I'm looking forward to see what happens here.
Wildcats will have Jason Slay and then Riley Rehill, the scheduled hitters in the Oak Ridge lineup. Jacob Franklin, big single and RBI to score the first run of the ball game. He's at third. Izzy Mitchell, good speed at first. Takes a good-sized lead. Pitcher steps off the rubber, and Izzy retreats back to the bag at first. Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt, takes it high. 1 ball, no strikes the count. They asked for help, and he did not go. 1 ball, no strikes. Izzy takes his lead. He's picked off a guy already this inning, and once again steps off the rubber, and Izzy retreats back to the bag.
Izzy's been able to pinch run a lot lately. I know I said that last game too, but he just keeps getting more play time. It's awesome to see.
Good lead at first. Steps off the rubber, throws over to first, and not in time. Not a bad move there by the Powell pitcher. Doing a really good job keeping the Wildcats at first. Here's a lob over, and Izzy really hadn't taken much of a lead off the bag. 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the 4th inning. I believe we're in the 4th inning, top of the 4th. Is he not going? He squares to bunt, takes another one low. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. So all of a sudden, working from the stretch, the pitcher has struggled a bit with runners on, facing the number 8 hitter in the Wildcat lineup. Izzy looks like he's ready to go. Nope. Squares to bunt, hits it, bunts, perfect bunt. Up the first base line, the Wildcats score, and it's 2-0. Given RBI to Jason Slay, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 2-0. That is a sacrifice. He is out. Really nice bunt up the first base line. Jacob Franklin comes in to score. You don't see a squeeze like that very often, but it worked to perfection here.
Yeah, awesome play by Jason there. We haven't seen many successful bunts here in this season, but that was a great play.
Izzy moves down to second. Riley Rehill 1-for-1 in the ball game. And the first pitch to him is up high a ball, a little below his shoulders. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Izzy the base runner out at second. Riley Rehill back in. Number 9 hitter, 1-for-1 in the game. 2 runs in for Oak Ridge. The pitch called a strike. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 hits for the Wildcats. Perfect bunt. Perfect bunt by Jason Slay to score the Wildcats' second run. Izzy takes the lead off of second. Second baseman sneaks in behind. Kind of tripped as he hit the bag out there. He's already taken 1 tumble trying to get to a ball earlier. Rehill hits the ball foul over into the trees off to our right. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Little difference I've been noticing with this pitcher is he was going the first 2 innings. He was pretty quick with his pace, and now he's starting to slow down a little bit. And Oak Ridge has been able to get more hits, so a little bit of correlation there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Izzy takes his lead off of second. Riley back in. The 1-2 pitch hit foul. Stayed alive. Put his bat out there and pops it over towards the parking lot once again. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 in. Oak Ridge leading Powell 2-0 as we play at Powell High School in the top of the 4th inning. Senior Riley Rehill back in. Pitcher much more deliberate now with runners on base. He's going to throw back to second. Izzy is out. 2 runners picked off this inning. Great move again by the pitcher. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2 runners picked off. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here. Oak Ridge on top of Powell, 2-0. We'll be back in a moment. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Powell. The Wildcats on top of the Panthers 2-0. Oak Ridge has out-hit the Panthers 5-1. Wildcats a perfect squeeze bunt to score Jacob Franklin. Jacob Franklin with an RBI single as well, and it's 2-0. Now let's see if we can get a shutdown inning from Tyler Pickens. And the first pitch to the leadoff man is hit foul. Back into the parking lot, and the count is no balls and 1 strike.
Batting now is Lucas Mays, who struck out his first attempt.
Right-handed hitter, Tyler Pickens, senior. Thrown a 1-hitter to this point. 1 strike pitch, here it comes. Hit on the ground, foul, our way, and out of play. And he's way ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Jacob Franklin's your left fielder. Richie Ferreira in center. Riley Rehill in right. Camden Welch at first. Jason Slay at second. Caden Black at short. Mikey Teasley's at third. Kyron Welch is the catcher, and Tyler Pickens is the pitcher. He started the ball game 2-0 on the season, trying to win his 3rd game and his 2nd district game. The pitch is hit foul again, off to the right side and off the fence, probably about 15 feet from us. Scatters the fans, although they're protected, and I'm somewhat protected. I don't really trust my reaction time as much as you do. You're a little bit more exposed. I'm halfway exposed. Pickens, 2-strike count. Here it comes. Hit in the air, foul again. Giving it a look is Camden Welch, and he's got it for out number 1. Ball, plenty of foul territory here, and Camden got a good read on it and was easily able to get over there to make the play. Nice play by the freshman.
Yeah, great play by Tyler and Camden Welch there, sorry. Tyler with a great count there, was able to go up early. And batting now is Quade Carver. He grounded out his first attempt.
1 out, nobody aboard, 2-0 Oak Ridge. Panthers batting in the 4th. Pitch, called a strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, the Wildcats have had base runners throughout this ball game, and finally the Wildcats were able to break through. Really nice piece of hitting by Jacob, and a nice bump by Jason Slays. That pitch is high and tight. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. As I was pointing out to you, all their sports facilities are all so close together in a small piece of land. 1-1 pitch is hit on the ground. Foul territory, and the count is 1-2. Not only is Joey Weston doing color in the book, he's also doing camera work. He's a multi-talented individual.
No, it's not too bad. You know, I'm enjoying the camera work, actually. It's pretty fun.
The vantage point is so much better than what we've had at any ball game, honestly. Well, I mean, we're exposed. There's no fence in front of us. 1-2 pitch, hit foul. Into the parking lot. And yeah, everybody. It's kind of a spectator sport when you come to Powell High School. You look to see where the ball is going towards the cars, and you listen for the sounds because the parking lot is so close and so adjacent to the field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch, called strike 3. Go sit down, and that is out number 2 here in the 4th inning.
That is Tyler's 4th strikeout of the game, and the Oak Ridge dugout is loving that. Batting now is Elijah White, the right fielder. He flew out his first at-bat.
2-0 Wildcats. Bottom of the 4th inning. Lefty stands in. Oak Ridge dugout has been in this game since the beginning. So is the Powell dugout. A little quieter now that they're trailing 2-0. Tyler Pickens has the sign from Kyron Welch. The pitch is up high, right across the letters, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, no strikes. Pickens for the Wildcats comes to the plate, hit him in the leg, and they've got a base runner. So the tying run comes to the plate. Ball popped him, I think, right in the calf.
Batting now is the DH, Landon Godfrey. He walked his first at-bat.
What's interesting so far about this game is that Tyler has really cruised through the first 2 batters of each inning, and then his base runners have gotten on with 2 outs, which is good, but
yeah, you know, he starts off hot. Like a lot of the pitchers for Oak Ridge, you know, they usually get warmed up into it. They start going into it. Tyler just jumps right in. That's what I've noticed about him this season.
Good lead at first for the Panther. I saw him just kind of trying to get the sting out of his leg as he went down the first. Pitch is a ball, bounces away, and they have, I think the base runners very wisely, I think he saw the ball skip away. and almost broke towards second, but then wisely retreated. I think Kyron would have had a good shot of gunning him down at first. Very wise decision to return to the bag. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Runner at first for the Panthers. Wildcats have had 2 guys picked off in this game. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do here. That pitch is high.
Yeah, back to that ball. I think it actually hit the umpire. So thanks to him, they saved a extra base there.
Well, he's part of the field, so, I mean, sometimes it works in your favor and sometimes it does not. That time it kind of did. 2-0 pitch. Called strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Count on the batter. Good crowd, as we mentioned here. We'll get a shot of those Oak Ridge fans in a moment. I don't know if you've given a good perspective of where we are. We'll after this batter, we'll point it down towards our dugout. You can see just how close we are to the Wildcats. 2-1 pitch, a little low, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge on top, 2-0. Pickens trying to work through the bottom of the 4th inning. He's got 2 outs, got them quickly. He's got a runner at first. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count. And the pitch. Cut on, foul, back to the screen, and we've got another full count.
Almost every time Tyler's walked a guy, he's been in a 3-2 situation for the count. So, those walks are still not as bad as you may think.
I hear Coach Free is telling him to, what he basically just told him, is do what you want, throw what you want, whatever you feel comfortable throwing. Hopefully for him, he'll choose the right one. He knows what's working for him. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Comes to the plate, 3-2 pitch. They call it a balk. This is Balk-a-Day Bob here at Powell High School, the 3rd balk called in the game. And you just don't see that maybe in a whole season. We've got 3 in the same game. I don't know his name, but he's Balk-a-Day Bob to me. As we've got a 3-2 count. They have a runner in scoring position because of Balk-a-Day Bob. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Batter gets tired of waiting. You hear the cars rumbling behind us. Luckily, no foul balls whizzing past us to this point. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler to the plate. Called strike 3. Go sit down. Out number 3. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Oak Ridge on top by a score of 2-0. And we'll be back on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Go to the 5th inning. Wildcats on top of the Panthers 2-0. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the Wildcat lineup. Riley Rehill was at bat when the 3rd out was tallied by the Panthers on a pickoff play. And he is 1 for 1 in the ball game. Had a single to his first plate appearance, and he takes one about nose level, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Caden Black on deck for Oak Ridge. He reached base safely. On a double off the glove of the shortstop, the second baseman actually. The pitch is cut on and missed. Lunged at that one, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the 5th inning, 2-0 Wildcats.
We were talking about Riley earlier, and just wondering, we were thinking he should be in the lineup. He's a really hot hitter lately.
Yeah, swings and he misses at that one. Kind of lunged at that one. Now he's got to protect the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch bounced up there, and it's 2-2. Riley was one of your teammates, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Riley has improved a lot from what I've seen. I mean, he was still a great ball player back when I played, but the improvement I'm seeing is just great.
Called strike 3. The Oak Ridge fans thought it might have been a bit outside, but Riley will take a seat. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, and the batter now will be the leadoff man in the Oak Ridge order, and that is Caden Black.
Caden Black's first attempt, he flew out, and his last, he had a double that helped the Wildcats get a man on second and third.
And the first pitch to him is down low a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out, or actually nobody on, 1 out. I don't know. I don't know why I said it. Here's the pitch. Down low a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. One thing you can say about the pitcher, he is limited to damage by picking Wildcats off. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. About the same spot on all 3 pitches, low below his knees. Caden in a good spot here. 3 balls and no strikes. 2-0 Wildcats. The pitch. Called strike 3. About the same spot, but a lot of times that 3-0 pitch, if it's close, they're going to call it.
Yeah, all 4 of these pitches have been, or 3, I'm sorry, have been really close to that strike zone.
That one a little up in the zone and called a strike, and the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, and trying to get aboard here. Let's see what happens here. The pitch hits off his bat and off his hands there, and the count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Almost hit him, but it hit the bat. That's an unfortunate turn of events for the Wildcats. Caden, instead of wandering down to first base, will feel the pain of that pitch and have to be faced with another 3-2 count. That one's ball 4, so it didn't matter. In the long run, the Wildcats have a base runner with 1 out.
It's always good when Caden Black's on base. We always say he's a stealing base machine out there. And up to bat now is Mikey Teasley. He had a single his first attempt and struck out his last.
See what Caden can do. The Wildcats have had 1 guy picked off at first, 1 guy picked off at second. Caden, a very, very solid base runner, takes a huge lead. Wanders back to the bag after the pitcher stepped off the rubber. 1 out here in the 5th, 2-0 Wildcats. Wildcats looking to get more here. Here's the lob over there. You know, he shows them the lob. You know, when they're hardly off, he just kind of soft tosses it over there, kind of lulls them to sleep a little bit. Then he swings around and throws a missile at first and got the better move that time. Still not the hard throw that picked off Richie earlier. No count as of yet to Mikey. And here's the throw over to first once again.
Yeah, that's 3 times just at Caden, and we saw 5 at Richie. He really likes that pickoff play.
It's been effective for him to this point. There's the missile throw there, and it's right on the bag, but Caden had not gotten off the bag that far. We got a different view here. We're not obstructed. Caden's going on the pitch. Here's the throw down, and he is going to be safe. So a stolen base for Caden Black. Did you turn the camera? I'm just messing with you, Joey. That's a stolen base. The Wildcats have a runner in scoring position. So he watched him. He watched him, and then he took off. And good throw by the catcher. Really nice throw. But he was safe, and the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position and 1 strike on Mikey Teasley. 1 for 2 in the ball game, as Joey mentioned. The pitch, cut on a missed, and the count is 0-2. Kind of a major hack that time by Mikey. Just needs to make contact. 2 strikes the count, 1 out. Caden Black, the runner at second base. Second baseman sneaks in behind. The pitch is ripped deep right center field. The right fielder, or center fielder, is going to make a catch. The tag and the run to third is successful. When he hit the ball first, I thought that was going to go in the gap, to be honest with you, but I guess the center fielder was playing shading a little bit more towards right, being a left-handed hitter, and good play by him. And the Wildcats have a runner at third with 2 outs. The ball was hit right on the button, though.
Yeah, that ball was hit really hard by Mikey. That's really similar to his first single, but just didn't get in the gap. Batting now is Tyler Pickens. Flew out his first attempt and grounded out his last.
He takes one up high. Hit means a run for the Wildcats. Wild pitch, pass ball, error in the infield, error in the outfield. Good speed at third. 1 ball, no strikes the count. 2 outs, the pitch to Pickens. Cut on a miss. Took something off on that one, and the count is 0-1. Caden takes his lead off of third. Here's the pitch. That's a ball. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge dugout continue to make a lot of noise. Pitch, hit foul. Out of play into the parking lot once again, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge has out-hit the Panthers 5-1. Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss, and Tyler is a strikeout victim, and that is out number 3. Wildcats pick up a base runner. They leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning here at Powell High School, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 2-0. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Powell High School. David Clary along with Joey Weston. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Oak Ridge on top of the Panthers 2-0. The Wildcats 3-1 in district play, taking on the Panthers, who are 9-1 overall. As Tyler Pickens begins his 5th inning of work, he's given up 1 hit. He's walked 3, I believe, maybe more. I remember maybe 3, maybe even 4.
Tyler has walked 2 batters and hit just one time. He's also at 5 strikeouts tonight.
First pitch is a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike.
Batting now is Austin Mepos, the catcher.
1 strike, the count to him. Nobody out, nobody aboard. 5th inning. Pitch, hit on the ground. Shortstop Caden Black off his glove, and it rolls into left field. The ball took a wicked bounce, hit the dirt, went bouncing off his glove, and they have a runner on with nobody out. Good start for the Panthers.
Batting now is Brayston Sopper, the shortstop for the Panthers. He flew out his last at-bat.
Tough break there for Caden. He was in perfect position to field that one. The ball took a high bounce off the dirt. I guess the surface is hard. It's real dirt. It's not like it's the artificial kind that we saw the other night at Maryville. And just bounded up high, and Caden went off his glove, and they've got a runner on. Right-handed hitter. Pitch. Cut on, I missed. And the count is 0-1. Just tough break there for Caden Black.
Yeah, you know, it happens. It really does happen. He's still a junior. He's got another year left to learn a little bit, but he's still a great player, you know.
Runner takes his lead off of first. 1 strike the count. Pitch. Hit foul over towards the Powell dugout and fielded by the on-deck man. So Tyler Pickens way ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Ridge will play at home tomorrow against this same Powell team. That'll be another 6 o'clock start time. It's kind of interesting how the start times vary, even on home games for the Wildcats. Here's the 2-strike pitch. I guess a little high outside, maybe a little outside. And the count is 1-2.
That's been a pretty hot pitch tonight. The outside up high pitches, they've been called strikes a lot this game. So I was a little surprised to see that as a ball.
Runner at first, nobody out. 2-0 Wildcats. Pitch is cut on a miss. Go sit down. Strikeout for Tyler Pickens, and that is out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
Batting now is Ryan Satterfield, the left fielder who struck out his first attempt.
How many strikeouts now does Tyler Pickens have to this point?
That would make 6 tonight.
2-0 Wildcats. Something amused Tyler. He's looked back and smiled back at his shortstop. 1 out, runner at first. Pickens to the plate. Hit right to the first baseman. That's a double play. The ball was hit right to Camden Welch, who caught it on the line. The base runner straight off the bag, too far. Steps on the bag. That's the 2nd out of the inning. So we go to the top of the 6th inning here at Powell High School. Oak Ridge on top, 2-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. We go to the 6th inning. Richie Ferreira leads things off for the Wildcats. Wildcats on top 2-0. Really nice play there by the Wildcat first baseman, the freshman, as the ball is hit on the ground and foul territory, and the count is 0-2.
Batting now is Richie Ferreira. He grounded out his first at-bat and earned a single his last.
Go back to that play by Camden. Really, line drive hit right to him, and runner had straight off the bag too far. Nice play.
Yeah, great reaction time by Camden Welch there, and great awareness as well to get back to the bag.
2 strikes the count on Richie. The sophomore lefty takes one down low, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-0 Wildcats, getting late. We're in the 6th inning, top of the 6th. Richie swings and hits the ball to left field, shallow. The left fielder in, and makes the catch one-handed for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 out. The batter now for the Wildcats will be Eddie Tan for the Wildcats.
Eddie Tan grounded out his first at bat and then made it on base off of an error and later on scored that inning.
Right-handed hitter. Nobody aboard. Pitch to him is hit foul. And out of play over towards the parking lot once again. And the count is 0-1. Jacob Franklin's on deck for the Wildcats. Jacob had a big RBI single to get the Wildcats' first run home. That happened a couple innings ago. That pitch is cut on and missed. And the count is 0-2. This pitcher's been hit or miss. I mean, sometimes he looks just brilliant, and other times he's given up some hard hit balls. There's a lot of off-speed stuff. 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate. The count is 1-2.
Yeah, this pitcher, he has been solid this game. 4 strikeouts for him. Or actually 5, sorry about that. So he's had a pretty solid game so far.
The 1-2 pitch is low and outside, I guess, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As I mentioned, Jacob Franklin is on deck for the Wildcats. Back-to-back seniors batting. Pitch hit well into right field, but nope, not right enough. As the second baseman catches the ball, wasn't hit super hard, and I thought it might drop, but the second baseman was back on it easily and makes the catch for out number 2. So a soft line drive, but out. So 2 up and 2 down for the Wildcats. I think Oak Ridge has had base runners in every inning. I think I'm correct there. And to continue that streak here, Jacob's going to have to get on.
Yeah, Jacob struck out his first attempt and then singled later on in the game. He ended up scoring the second run for the Wildcats.
1 strike pitch to him, cut on and missed. Count is 0-2. He did it with 2 strikes the last time. Let's see what he can do here. Working quickly again. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-0 Wildcats as they bat in the 6th inning. Kind of a cloudy, overcast day, but I'm not going to jinx this by saying anything. Called strike 3, and that is out number 3 for the Wildcats. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Powell High School. Oak Ridge in the lead, 2-0. We'll be back on our YouTube channel. Well, let me talk about that just for a second. I've said this about all of our ball games. If you subscribe to Prep Radio on our YouTube channel, it's nothing. You just little click there. You will be alerted every time that we go live with a broadcast, and that would be not only baseball, basketball, and football. And I'm just going to warn you just a little bit too, for those of you who have become very accustomed to watching our broadcasts over the last 3 weeks or so. Because of other commitments, our schedule of games will be a little bit more sporadic in the next little bit. In fact, all of the games played this week at the tournament we will not be able to stream, and early next week's ball games will not be streamed as well. And there, the guys in the dugout are trying to get Joey's attention. So just to let you know, we've done probably more games than we thought we would have done at this point. This non-sponsored event, we're kind of doing that on my own, honestly. So, but my job kind of takes me away in the next few days. So for those of you who have become very accustomed to watching our broadcast, you can always follow the action on the Game Changer. They're working on a video way of showing that on Game Changer. They worked on that a little bit the other night. I don't know how successful they were. We will still broadcast other ball games, but they'll be a little bit more sporadic. I mean, at the end of next week we'll broadcast some, but starting, I guess, Wednesday through Wednesday, we will not have any of our games on YouTube. So just come on out to the ball games if you're local. If you're not, follow the Wildcats on the Game Changer app. Tyler begins his 6th inning of work, and the first pitch is a called strike.
This is their leadoff hitter. He's also led off. This is his 3rd time leading off an inning, and he flew out his first attempt and his second.
2-0 Wildcats. Tyler Pickens has been very successful. Pitch to the plate, cut on, and maybe foul tip back at the plate. And the count is 0-2. I was just told we will have the game changer video. 2-strike pitch goes. Sit down, sir. That is another strikeout for Tyler Pickens.
That'll be his 7th of the game. Super impressive by him. Now batting is Caleb Emmert, the second baseman for Powell. He had a double his last attempt.
Your mathematics teacher just said he's enjoyed listening to your broadcast. So thanks for tuning us in, Coach Tom Froning. One out here in the 6th, 2-0 Wildcats. Tyler Pickens comes to the plate. Called a strike, and he is throwing BBs right now.
He is really getting on it. I mean, he started off the game strong. He still played pretty good, and he's turning it up this inning once again. Batting now is Caleb Emmert, the second baseman. All right, went over it.
I'm sorry, I was too busy looking at the whether we're going to be able to do the game changer, and I just was told they will be able to show the game changer video, so that'll be great for those of you not able to watch our broadcasts on YouTube. 1-1 pitch, hit foul. Straight back, out of play, and well out of play. Kyron gave it a good look, but count is 1-2.
I believe a fan just got hit off the bleachers and nailed him, but hope he's all right.
Which fan was it?
I think that, I don't know whose dad that is, but he's in the red hoodie over there.
I think it might. Was it? It wasn't Caden's dad, was it? I can't see from here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. That would be Terry Lee. Ball is hit on the ground, up the middle, into center field. That's a base hit. Ball just went off the mound for a base hit with 1 out here. I'm going to throw the ball back in when I get the opportunity. Joey?
You're not keeping the game ball, or batting now is Lucas Mays, the first baseman, who struck out his first at-bat and flew out his last.
One out here. Tying run at the plate. Runner at first. Good size lead. 1 out. 6th inning and a 2-0 ball game. Pitch. Cut on, I miss. Count is 0-1.
Like I said, Oak Ridge is they're getting even more pumped up here in the dugout as they extend the lead a little bit, and they're still going.
Runner at first, big lead. Tyler Pickens, senior Wildcat, trying to work through trouble here in the 6th. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. The count is 0-2. This is the meat of their order. You'd feel pretty good about getting through these guys as we head to the 7th inning. Right now, he's got a runner at first. The batter represents the tying run in a small ballpark, 315 to left, 370 to dead center, 320 to right. Pretty deep in right field, but the left field much smaller. Here's the 0-2 pitch, ripped into center field. That's another base hit. Wildcats Richie Ferreira comes up and throws it to the cutoff man, and they've got runners on the corners with 1 out. And the big scoring threat for the Powell Panthers as their fans are up here. Runners at first and third. Ball was solidly rocketed out in the right center field, and now the go-ahead run comes to the plate for the Powell Panthers.
Looks like Jason Slay, Tyler, and Mikey are going to be having a conversation on the mound. Batting now is number 26, Quade Carver. He grounded out his first attempt and struck out his last.
Sorry, I pulled the mic away from you. We're working a 1 mic operation up here as we sit on the dugout. Right-handed hitter. Runner at third. Runner at first. Wildcats got out of the last inning with a line drive double play. One of those would be nice right here. Tyler trying to work out of trouble. Good lead at first. The pitch. Call a strike. You still got velocity. This is the meat of their order. You can hear the Oak Ridge fans trying to encourage him a bit. One strike the count, one out. Runner takes his lead off a third, a very short lead. Big lead at first. Tyler from the stretch comes to the plate. Hit foul, back to the screen, and he's ahead. Once again, no balls and 2 strikes. What worries me about Bacade Bob out there, I'd hate to see their first run come in on a balk.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great. Oak Ridge has held him scoreless through the 5th inning. So Tyler's had a great game defensively, and so have the rest of the team.
Very well umpired ball game to this point. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. Bottom of the 6th inning. Batter steps out of the batter's box. Powell dugout, much more vocal than they had been the last couple of innings. Camden Welch holding the runner on at first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cut on fouled back to the screen. I thought he had him. Just got a piece of it and hit it back to the screen.
Yeah, that ball was thrown very hard by Tyler. He's got a great arm. I mean, he's probably one of the faster pitchers on this team.
Most definitely. He's a big guy, as you can see on your YouTube screen there. No screen bothering us today because we're on top of the dugout. Here's the pitch, runner going, ball is hit to the pitcher. He has a play at the plate. Here's the throw, out! You're out, buddy! Take a seat! You're out! Quit arguing! You are so out! You are so out! Head to the dugout. He has been tossed out of the game. Number 1, and they've got a run down at second, and he is out! The Powell Panthers running themselves out of an inning. The Wildcats gun him out at the plate. He tried to advance between first and second. Out he goes. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Unbelievable plays just now and terrible base running by your Powell Panthers.
Yeah, I've got to apologize. I don't know if the viewers saw that, but hopefully David was able to commentate it for you. But that's awesome for the Wildcats. That's huge.
He was definitely out at the plate. He argued and then got the old heave-ho from the umpire. And then the runner tried to sneak his way down to second. The Wildcats had no part of that. And they were able to get him easily between the bag at first and second for the 3rd out. So back-to-back innings have been ended by double plays, and that was just horrendous base running there for the 3rd out especially.
Yeah, a lot just happened those last 2 outs there. Runner was tagged out at home, argued with the umpire, got ejected, and then the Wildcats were able to get the other runner out who thought he could sneak by. So a lot happening just then.
You know, if you and I were the pitcher right there as opposed to Tyler Pickens, that ball probably goes over our heads. Tyler, a big tall guy, the ball was hit, bounded right up, and he was able to grab it and very alertly came to Camden Welch, who applied the tag at home plate. And while all that was happening, while the umpire was having no part of number 1 for the Powell Panthers, the guy who reached base safely on the fielder's choice tried to sneak his way to second, and the Wildcats gunned him out. We've said that 3 times, but I just wanted to make clear that Tyler Pickens made a good play just to start the whole play.
Yeah, he did. He was doing good in the count. The batter was down 0-2. Came back to Tyler. The other players on the field communicated to him to get that home, which he did, and he was able to get him out.
So number 1 is replaced by somebody. I don't know that we have that with us, but we go to the top of the 7th inning. And the Wildcats are going to send to the plate Mr. Alex Franklin, who's been hitting the ball really well for the Wildcats.
Alex Franklin is DHing for Kyron Welch. And, yeah, Alex has been playing really good lately. I believe he had a double against Central, which was huge, which ended up letting them win the game. So he's been helping out a lot offensively.
Right-handed hitter. They're telling Coach Free of the lineup change, and Coach Free is telling him of our lineup change. Oak Ridge on top 2-0. Back-to-back innings with double plays. That one was one of the more unusual double plays. It was, if you're scoring it at home, that was 1-2, I believe, to 6-4. I might be wrong there. I don't know if you had the camera on the out on the base paths. I think that's the way it went. And if not, you didn't see it anyway, so there's no proof of it.
Yeah, no, I missed it. I was worried about the player getting ejected. I missed that as well. So sorry I wasn't able to get all the good parts of that play. That's on me.
You're just not used to doing it. I'm not, probably, if Vashon was here, he might have gotten it. But in a basketball game, and one of the most crucial parts of the basketball game, as a fan like you and Vashon, crucial basketball, Vashon stopped doing the camera, leaned over the rail, and was yelling at the official while everything in the world was going on. It was funny, and I've never let him down. But that was understandable, because who would have even thought they were going to try to run between first and second? But you're doing a great job, just to let you know. Coach Froning thinks you are for sure.
Thank you, Coach Froning. It's a
2-0 Wildcats. Alex Franklin leads things off in the 7th inning. Pitch hit well, center field, but not well enough. It's going to be caught for out number 1. Ball was hit right on the nose. It's right on the nose. Coach Free not too happy about it. I don't know why. Ball was hit pretty well. Maybe it went against their game plan. Maybe they wanted to take a few pitches as Jason Slay stands in for the Wildcats.
Jason Slay flew out his first at-bat and had a sacrifice bunt, his second, that allowed Jacob Franklin to come in for the second run.
First pitch to Jason is a called strike. So the Wildcats 3 outs away from their 4th district win. Pitch hit in the air, foul territory, drifting over to the right. The first baseman, a long run. He just runs out of room. Ball hit the handrail of the steps away from their dugout. The count is 0-2. Riley Rehill is on deck for Oak Ridge. Wildcats scored 2 runs back in the 4th inning. They have out-hit the Panthers 5-4. Both pitchers really have pitched well. The Wildcats have struggled as Jason swings, and that is a strikeout. Ball's well out of the strike zone, and that is out number 2. The batter now is Riley Rehill. Riley had a hit back in his first plate appearance. I think he was out swinging his last plate appearance, and he's 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Wildcats could use some insurance. That pitch is fouled back. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Guy throws a lot of off-speed stuff, and he's had the Wildcats way out in front. Riley for sure was way out in front of that one.
Yeah, it's not like the pitcher hasn't been allowing the batters to get balls in play. They definitely have been able to make contact with the ball. It's just finding the gaps is where they've struggled a little bit tonight.
Pitch is hit on the ground. Shortstop feels it. It's going to be a bang-bang at first. Heath did make the play. It rolls it over towards the Powell dugout. The catcher retrieves it, throws down to second, and it gets away, but not far enough. And Riley Rehill is in scoring position with 1 out. That's the key. If you put the ball in play, especially at the high school level, you have a good chance of getting on base. Fielding was really nice by the shortstop, but his throw, once again, just a little bit low. And now the Wildcats, perhaps a base hit away from getting a very valuable insurance run here.
And that was the second time we've seen that type of error this game, which did result in the batter taking an extra base.
They are going to say, Caden Black, you are too good. You are going to be put on intentionally. So down the first will go Caden Black, and the batter now will be the freshman Mikey Teasley.
Yeah, I don't know. Mikey has a single his first attempt, struck out, and then flew out to center field on a line drive, which was a good hit ball. So we'll see what he can do here.
Third baseman playing back of the bag. Wildcats with their freshman taking a strike. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Riley Rehill's been on base twice. Caden Black intentionally walked. You don't see a leadoff man intentionally walk, but as good as Caden is, not a bad thing to do if you're the Powell coach. 1 strike pitch to Mikey is fouled back to the screen, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Pickens on deck for the Wildcats. The Wildcats 3 outs away from their 4th district win. The Wildcats 3-1 in district play. Riley takes his lead off of second. Caden takes his lead off of first. 2 strikes the count on the freshman Mikey Teasley. And the pitch, down low a ball, and the count is 1-2. We've talked about this, Joey. For a freshman, Mikey Teasley is very poised.
Yeah, that's right. He says he's been around the game for a while. He's played travel ball, and I believe he said that he said he's been around the game long enough to where he doesn't really get phased that much.
That pitch is down low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on. 2-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge has out-hit the Panthers 5-4. 2 errors in the ball game, both by the Powell shortstop. Mikey stands back in. Right-handed hitting freshman, and the pitch to him. Hit well to left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run in. Here comes Riley Rehill. So backfiring decision by the Powell coach. A base hit by the freshman, his second of the game in the left field, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 3-0. They walk Caden on purpose, and it comes back to bite him. 3-0 Wildcats.
Great play there by Mikey to get that ball in play. Batting now is Tyler Pickens. He flew out his first attempt, grounded out, and then struck out.
So the Wildcats have Caden Black now at third. The base runner at first is Mikey Teasley. Solid base knock to left. 1 run in, 3-0 Wildcats. 2 outs. Tyler has been very quiet at the plate, but has been wicked on the mound for the Wildcats. Pitch to him as the ball bounces away, and down to second will go Mikey Teasley. So the Wildcats now have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Tyler Pickens steps back in. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Powell 9-1 on the year. And here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. He's had Tyler's number, but Tyler's done a really good job on the play, on the mound, that is. See if he can get a big base knock here. Hit means 2. 1 strike pitch to the senior. He hits it into center field. That's a base hit. And the score. 1 run. Here comes Teasley. Oak Ridge on top, 5-0. Oak Ridge gets a big hit from the senior Tyler Pickens, and the Wildcats lead the Panthers 5-0. Solid base knock to center, and the Wildcats lead it 5-0. Big hit by Teasley. Big hit by Tyler Pickens.
Awesome job by Tyler. He hasn't been too lucky at the plate tonight, but he came in and he got those 2 RBIs right here to get that safety runs.
And the Wildcats now lead it by a score of 5-0. 2 outs. Richie Ferreira, the batter. Eli Baldwin, the base runner at first. The ball is hit to center field. Medium center field, drifting over to left center. That is out number 3. But the Wildcats pick up 3 big insurance runs. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Powell High School. Oak Ridge on top of Powell, 5-0. And we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. The Wildcats feel a little bit better about it. Up 5-0. Tyler Pickens trying to finish out the ball game. Begins his 7th inning of work. Umpire out to talk with Tyler for whatever reason. Not sure, something coming out of his back pocket. The umpire tells him to handle his clothing issue, clothing malfunction. 5-0, 7 hits for the Wildcats, 4 for the Panthers. And the Wildcats 3 outs away from their 4th district win.
Batting now is Elijah White, the right fielder for the Panthers.
And the first pitch to him is a called strike. Big job of hitting for the Wildcats. Pickens, 1 strike. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. Strike 2. Got the lower part of their order, I believe, coming up too.
That's right. This is their number 5 hitter. And batting next is Landon Godfrey. And following that is Brayston Sopper.
Pickens trying to pitch another complete game. Comes to the plate. Evidently a little high and inside. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5-0 Wildcats. 5-0 Wildcats. Poor Joey. I'm making him do so many different things, but he got it. He got it. Good job, Joey. 5-0 Oak Ridge. Here's Pickens with a 2-strike pitch. Cut on a miss. Go sit down. And that's out number 1 here in the 7th inning.
That is Tyler's 8th strikeout of the night. He's been in that count with 2 strikes and maybe 0 balls a lot this game. Batting now is Landon Godfrey, the DH. He walked his first at-bat and struck out his last.
1 out here in the 7th. The pitch is hit foul. Straight back. Kyron gives it a look, and it goes into the bleachers on the Powell side. And the count is 0-1. 1 out, nobody aboard. Wildcats on top of the Panthers, 5-0. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch. That's a little bit high, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Well umpired ball game today. 3 balks, a little unusual, but we'll at 5-0, we'll take it. Here's the 1-1 pitch, hit in the air, right side. Camden Welch back on it. It's going to be the second baseman, Jason Slay, out number 2, and the Powell Panthers are down to their final out here in the 7th inning. That's the Oak Ridge dugout. They are fired up. Wildcats trying to post a shutout over our friends from Powell.
Batting now is Austin Mepos, the catcher. He walked his first at-bat and got on base from an error his last.
2 outs, nobody aboard. 5-0 Wildcats. Tyler Pickens trying to go all the way for Oak Ridge. And the pitch, cut on, foul back to the screen. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Panthers have been a powerhouse in baseball, and they still have a pretty good team, but today Tyler Pickens has been just masterful on the mound for the Wildcats. The Wildcats have picked up some timely hits and have taken advantage of some errors by the base-running Panthers and some errors in the field by the Panthers as well. That pitch is up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, like you said, Tyler Pickens, he's played a great game so far. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but he's pitched for 0 runs tonight, so he's done a great job on the mound.
That pitch looked pretty good. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Kyron Welch gives the sign to the senior. The big right-hander about to come forward with a 2-1 pitch. Hit foul again. Out of play, coming back our way. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You see that older gentleman back there? I guess I'd be the same way. If you don't know where the ball is, you're going to be ducking. But he was moving in a kind of a slow kind of a pattern to get away from it. I'm afraid he would have been plunked. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Pickens. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Go, sit down, ball game. Wildcats win. Strikeout for Tyler Pickens, and it's pandemonium on the center of the diamond as Oak Ridge defeats the Powell Panthers by a final score of 5-0. Tyler Pickens goes all 7 innings for the Wildcats' victory tonight over Powell. Big, big win for Oak Ridge in the district. Oak Ridge now 4-1 in district play.
Great job by Oak Ridge there. Powell was undefeated in district this year, so great job by the Wildcats to end that streak.
Two teams will now shake hands at the center of the field. The Wildcats celebration, kind of massive. We don't beat Powell very often in baseball, and here recently in football, not too often in football, but as the two teams shake hands, the Oak Ridge fans applaud the effort, not only from the Wildcat pitcher Tyler Pickens, but just an overall good team win. The Wildcats played flawless defense for the Wildcats, and that always helps when you got a good defense behind you. You feel comfortable about them, and that's exactly what happened. And he let his defense make plays, and the base running mistakes by the Panthers were a problem for them. And boy, they've headed out of here quickly. They'll be heading out, but they'll have another opportunity tomorrow as the Wildcats take on Powell at Bobby Hopkins Field.
That's right, great defense, but also great offense in the 7th inning there. Tyler Pickens and Mikey Teasley came up huge to get those insurance runs, make it 5-0. It's a lot less stressful when you're up 5 rather than 2.
Most definitely, because you get a one base runner on, you're one swing away from a tie ball game. So those 3 insurance runs were huge for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. And something else positive that happened, Joey. You know what else positive happened? We didn't even have to deal with any foul balls coming our way.
Well, that's always nice, and we got a nice angle. No balls over here, so doesn't get better than that.
5-0 is our final score. The Wildcats victorious. Joey's going to have the stats. We'll have some player interviews and Coach Free as well. Oak Ridge wins 5-0 over Powell. We'll be back on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment.
All right, for the stats tonight for the Oak Ridge versus Powell Panthers game. Starting with the offense, Caden Black had a double, ended up getting on base and had a stolen base. No surprise there, like we always say. Mikey Teasley, big game for the freshman today. 2 singles and an RBI for him. Really hot at the plate. Almost was 3, just couldn't find the gap on one of them. Really hard hit by him. Props to him. Richie Ferreira also had a single tonight. Jacob Franklin, 1 RBI. Jason Slay had a sacrifice bunt, which came up huge to earn that 2nd run for the Wildcats tonight. And talk about Tyler Pickens. Really great game for him, not only offensively but defensively. He went 1 for 4 tonight, but 2 RBIs came up huge in the 7th inning. Talk about him defensively. He had 9 strikeouts tonight. Very impressive game by him, and he kept the Panthers scoreless. Great game by him. For the Panthers, not much offense tonight. They were limited to 3 hits, But talk about R.J. Broom, 7 strikeouts for him tonight. Impressive game for the pitcher. The Wildcats were just able to put the ball out in the field and get runs.
Can you take that down to them?
Yes.
I'll lower it to you.
Runner over here. The pinch runner.
Is your mic on?
Yeah.
Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Joining me is freshman Mikey Teasley. Mikey, good win for you guys. You had a couple hits, none bigger than that second one. Gave your team some insurance run. How important was this win over Powell today?
Hey, it's very important to me because I just transferred from here, and these seniors have never got a win against them, and I just had to ball out, and I had to win it for them.
Yeah, and you got 2 hits tonight too, so it kind of, like you said, meant a little bit more to you actually beating these guys.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how well Tyler Pickens pitched in this game.
He was just locked in, and from the bullpen that we had yesterday, I knew he was going to come out and shove today and have a great game.
You know, you and I talked a little bit about this. You've played a lot of travel ball, but you've got to feel a little bit of pressure out there because, you know, you're a freshman. Just like Richie just said, you're a freshman. You stepped up, and that was a nice, clean base hit to left. At all, do you feel any pressure at all?
When I stepped in the box, I did, but when I had 2 strikes, I just felt relief, and I knew I could finish and come in.
You know, he pitched, double digits in strikeouts, I do believe, in the game. You'll be pitching. Are you pitching tomorrow? Who's pitching tomorrow?
I'm supposed to pitch tomorrow.
So you'll be pitching tomorrow. So you'll be facing this lineup, which is very, very potent. So your thoughts going into tomorrow's ball game?
Just do the same thing Tyler did. Keep him off balance and come with my fastball when I got a chance.
Mikey, I appreciate you joining us here, and good luck tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Let's get Coach Free in here.
Has Pickens been on here?
Head coach of the Wildcats. Get a little better shot. Amy, he's going to put down he'll walk back into the shot once again. And there we go, back in the shot. Coach, first off, congratulations on the win. Powell traditionally over the last several years has been a powerhouse team. I mean, they have won a lot of ball games. And tonight was a big win. We'll talk to Tyler in a minute. He's standing off to your right, but
That's where it all started right there, wasn't it, David? I mean, Tyler just controlled the game from the beginning. They couldn't seem to get in a rhythm on offense. They had a little traction there. Once again, the ball hit back to him, makes the play, and he did everything that we needed to do to get the job done today. He was excellent. Then we came up with some timely hits. We did some good things offensively. You know, Mikey, big hit. Jacob, a huge hit. I can't remember. Pickens got a huge hit. All those things driving those runs in, man, is huge.
with the exception of a couple pickoff plays, you didn't make any mistakes in the field. Tyler was good. In fact, what I liked about Tyler's game, he got the first two batters usually in the inning really easily and quickly.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you noticed that, but he was really good in the first two. Third one is when they got on base.
He'd like to get deep in that count. He didn't want to get out of here with 50, 60 pitches. He wanted to make sure he got to his 80s for sure. But no, he's good. And when you notice as the moment got bigger and as the game got going, he just got stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'm super proud of him for that for sure.
Powell came in at 9-1 on the year. I don't know what their district record.
We're tied now. Whatever that.
They were 9-1 overall. So. It's a good baseball team you beat here on their home field. You got to feel really good about just about every aspect of it.
Yeah, feel great about where we're at, how we responded today, how we, it's the first loss they've had since I've ever been the head coach here, first loss they've ever had in a district game. So, obviously it feels good for our program, but, we got work to do tomorrow. We have another day to do tomorrow. We have another game to play, and we got to be prepared. It's going to be 21 hard outs. So we got to get ready to play tomorrow.
Coach, some timely hitting. Jacob had the first RBI hit. And then you were able to score just a beautiful bunt by Jason Slay.
That's right, yes.
Just a beautiful
squeeze.
bunt.
Yeah.
Was that a squeeze, a suicide?
It was a safety squeeze, We were just going to push it down the first base side. If we got it and we read that green, we usually go for it. So excellent execution by Jason for sure.
And then the insurance there in the final inning there.
Yeah,
when you
got some guys on base and came up with a couple big hits. Man, that's huge. That was huge for the guys, huge for our team, huge for our confidence. But like I said, celebrate it here for the next little bit. Go home, be ready to get locked in for tomorrow because it's going to be another dogfight. So
and that game, I believe, is at 6 again.
6 o'clock as well. Yep.
Coach, I appreciate your time and good luck.
Right.
We'll talk to you
Tyler's
tomorrow.
coming. He's looks like he's changing his shoes real quick. He'll be right here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
See if we can get Tyler Pickens back in here. I want to talk to him. He was the winning pitcher in the ball game. Let's get Tyler. We'll get him wandering around here as the Panthers are out working on their field, getting ready for what could be a rainy day. No junior varsity ball game, which is kind of unusual, typically in a district ball game. I'm not sure exactly. Joey, you've got your mic on. Why don't you kind of give us a recap of your thoughts on this win? Here's Tyler. We'll get him back in the shot here.
I had to make a quick wardrobe change. They dumped me in red Gatorade, and I'm all sticky now.
Yeah, I saw them do that to you, and it's not exactly summer weather, so you've got to be a little cold too.
I'm a little chilly. I'm getting ready to go in that van. Have the heat on all blast, full blast. So
let's talk about your effort. Powell's a team that Coach Freeze said he had never beaten.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And you came out strong from the very beginning. Everything seemed to be working for you. Talk about your performance.
Everyone told me like all these walk-offs they had on us and stuff like that, and how they've been giving us the beating these past years, and I wanted to change that up, So I came out here thinking to kick some butt, and I guess that's what I did.
You now pitched a complete game, and you're now 3-0, I believe, on the year. Was this your best performance of the year?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm tied. I think I got 9 strikeouts today. I think that's tied with the most I've had this whole season. So I guess so. I'd say this is my best performance.
Your first 3 at-bats, probably something that you wouldn't want to write home about. But your last bat was a huge one.
Yes,
talk about that hit, giving your team the insurance runs.
Coach Freed kept telling me what to focus on and stuff, so I guess that's what I did. I was tired of being 0 for 3, and I wanted to get a hit on the day. I just didn't want my pitching to be the job that I had, so.
Yeah, as a competitor, you want to go 4 for 4 and throw 7 innings, but what mattered really was what you did on the mound.
Yes,
How important of a district win was this for you guys?
Oh man, it's big. It's big. I know all the guys are loving it right now. It's Powell, man. That's our rival. They're an amazing team, but I'm just glad we got the win. That's not mine. But it just feels good to come out and give a butt beating, but they're gonna be hungry tomorrow, so we got to focus on tomorrow.
6 o'clock tomorrow. Tyler, I know you want to get warmed up, so congratulations on the win. Any final comments?
Thank you. Shout out my mom and dad. Anyone watching this, it's family. I love y'all. Thank you.
Okay. That's Tyler Pickens. He is the winning pitcher, pitched 7 strong innings, had a solid single in the 7th to close it out. That about does it here. Joey, unless you have something else to say, the Wildcats victorious. Here's Joey. For those of you who didn't know what Joey looked like, this is Joey Weston. Right here, and I'll keep following him. I know he's embarrassed right now to be on camera, but he's going to go into the dugout. But final score of the game was 5-0. Joey, just your final comments on the game. Final comments on the game. He's going to have to plug in the mic once again. I'm going to widen the shot out just a bit. He doesn't want to be in it.
I'm getting interviewed right now, but good game by the boys tonight. They were up 2-0 going into the 7th inning, and then they were able to secure the win almost by getting those last 3 runs. Tyler Pickens, great job tonight, on the mound, getting those last 2 RBIs in. So great job by him overall tonight as well.
Joey, I appreciate your good work today. Wildcats win it 5-0, and Wildcats are now 4-1 in the district. Thanks a lot, Joey. That about does it from here. The Wildcats knock off the Powell Panthers 5-0 is your final score. For Joey Weston, this is David Clary until hopefully tomorrow when we broadcast the game from Bobby Hopkins Field, a 6 o'clock start time against Powell. Until then, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.